Hello there, and welcome back to the NSESA State Tournament. Here we have League of Legends Division 1 playing. This will be Omaha Skutt Catholic versus Platteview. My name is Natanya, and I'm here with my good friend Caleb, and we'll be your casters today.
And so starting off already, we got our first ban, banning the ADCs out. We got a Lucian ban and an Ashe ban. Which team? So after that Lucian ban, still staying in the bot lane, banning a Seraphine next. Seraphine support, we saw earlier today in the Division 2 that the Seraphine ult charms have been very good today, and it's just an all-around good ult in general for just crowd control and setting up for team fights. Following the Seraphine ban, we got Caitlyn and then Fiora. So 3 ADCs have been banned so far, a support and then a top lane. Make that 4 ADCs with a Xayah. I guess that the bot lane picks Kai'Sa, even though that 4 ADCs have already been banned. And so Kai'Sa for Omaha Skutt with the Kai'Sa Rell combo in the bot lane, and then Mordekaiser in the top lane. And so far, Platteview has picked Sejuani, Wukong, and Misfortune. And so Platteview has already shown their jungler, and it's that's pretty good for Omaha Skutt in just knowing what jungler to go as because of that reason.
Exactly, because when you know what your opponent has chosen, it's very easy because you know how to counter them.
And so because Platteview knows that, they did ban the Vi. Vi is always a good champion, especially for that lockdown on the Misfortune, on the enemy ADC. And so getting that out of there is pretty good for Omaha Skutt. Omaha Skutt did ban Vayne, and then followed by the last ban for Platteview being Olaf, still staying in that jungler, still banning the junglers, knowing that Olaf can just ult out of any CC that is thrown at him. Final ban from Omaha Skutt will be the Morgana. And to answer that, Platteview has picked Leona, who does get countered by Morgana, and because Morgana was banned, a main counter for Leona was banned, and so Leona was a fantastic pick, especially with the Misfortune. Lining up those ults will just can be disastrous for Omaha Skutt.
Alrighty, and so as we're almost finishing up picks and bans, we have Viego here. Viego, ever since he dropped when he was released, he's been a very strong pick in the jungle.
Probably, but for this one.
In the jungle, and he will. I bet he's also been proven to be a very good pick mid as well, with his sustained damage and just overall wide variety of kits.
Just his kit varies well in the mid lane, especially with the roaming, his his shadow, uh, just letting him walk next to walls, being invisible, that can really help set up some really good ganks for him.
Exactly. So Omaha Scott's bot will have to be looking out for that Viego roam, and even Omaha Scott's top will be have to look at will be have to looking out for that Viego roam, as he will be a great danger in the jungle.
And so here we just have the spectator delay as always, while the players kind of just get into the game, start off the game, and then we'll join them soon after.
And so, to talk about just the teams, Omaha Scott Catholic this season has been 7-1, so practically undefeated, and Platteview has been 6-3, which is also a really good score for the season. Now, looking at these scores, looking at the matchups, Caleb, what do you think it's going to be?
Well, the bot lane is going to be a very, very just well thought out. And because both ADC and support have been pretty good, and the Misfortune Leona combo that I was talking about is very dangerous, but at the same time, the Rel Kaisa combo is
Mhm.
also very good
Mhm.
with the
Mhm.
just with the amount of knockups and stuns that Rel can give Kaisa for her passive stacks. Those would be very good. And so I think it's a just skill matchup. I don't think either bot lane has a just
And
a head
mhm.
because of
Mhm.
champ select. But um focusing on the top, Wukong versus Mordekaiser, that one might be a little scary just because Wukong will probably have the early damage
Mm.
that Mordekaiser won't get into late, but if Mordekaiser does poke a lot, he can easily take any fight. But that new Rammus with the new ult that he just
Oh
got,
yeah.
I'm
That
excited to see that. I haven't seen that
me
used
either.
just
Me
at its
either.
fullest
Mhm.
potential
Mhm.
because one thing that you sacrifice when you go up in the air for that ult is the mobility that
True.
staying in the ball
True.
gives you.
True.
And so it's really good if like say Misfortune was mid ult or has already used flash, it's really good to kind of just go in ult, knock her up, taunt, and that's a essentially free kill if he gets follow up.
Exactly, but at the same time, if he does sacrifice to use that ult and they do flash and they do get out, he just all his mobility
Mhm.
from that roll is absolutely gone, so he
Mhm.
cannot give chase.
Exactly. And
So,
so it's just really hard just knowing when to use it and when
mhm.
not to use it. But I'm excited to see how that can be used.
Mhm.
And I really want just a super fast Rammus, like
Me
sped up
too.
with
Me
Lulu.
too.
I just really want that thing to just jump across the map.
Honestly,
That would be
all the movement
hilarious.
speed just in every lane yelling, "Okay."
Yeah. And then we got the Pantheon, and it looks like Pantheon might be mid or top
Mid?
actually. Mordekaiser could possibly be mid.
That'll
And
be
so
interesting to
I
see.
I think that the Pantheon will be mid, but honestly I don't know for that one. Because while it's not a common pick for it to be
Mhm.
mid, you really just never know. Especially into a Viego, that wouldn't be the worst place to put it. That'd be a pretty solid pick, especially just the early damage, shutting down that Viego early.
And here we are, the champions have
Welcome
just
to
dropped
Summoner's
on the map.
Rift.
And already it's looking to be that the Viego and the Rel, they must
30
see each
seconds
other.
until minions spawn.
Wukong is looking to get into something spicy up top. We might have a little skirmish breaking out. Now there's a Q from Mordekaiser doing some early damage.
And that is a ward from Wukong there. And that would provide some good early vision. We see another one over the wall down on
In
bot
bot lane.
side, and then one in the pixel bush at top side.
Minions have
So already
spawned.
from an early time, Platteview has demonstrated that they are here to observe them. They want to know where they're at, when they're at all times.
So that early vision and just vision in general is also just really important to this game. Knowing where the jungler's at, knowing where the ranger's at, and like how we mentioned earlier in the day, the enemy team can kind of just know what to
Mhm.
do when they
Mhm. Especially if Plattview's jungler is looking to get an extra edge over the Mordekaiser, even though Wukong already has the edge. just something a little extra because if he knows where the enemy jungler is, that'll be an easy peasy gank down up top.
So we see a little scrimmage in mid. Diego did come out ahead on that one. He doesn't quite have damage and just his shield that little fight down the bottom was done from Fiona onto the bell. A few autos from Misfortune gives some hope.
Already we have Diego migrating into the top enemy jungle.
So Diego also has a ward on Rammus, and so he knows exactly where Rammus is. And so he can play a little bit further ahead on Pantheon.
And are we looking at
That might be
first blood? And then Diego claims first blood. Beautifully played by him.
Pantheon did fight back pretty well, leaving Diego with only a sliver of health left.
Mm-hmm.
But
Simply
unfortunately,
was not enough.
still a kill for Diego. So far, most people are keeping well. Just, it's a pretty good matchup all around with CS. And because it's 12 to 10, there is a fight. That shadow. That especially escaping from Rammus. Combo from Leona, auto from Misfortune, leaving Kaisa at about 1 health left.
So far, Misfortune. Oh, and there's Rammus with the roll. And Sejuani is coming to back Diego up. Good auto. This might be the end of Diego.
Kills Diego. Sejuani looking still to pick up that range.
Ooh, but flashes out just at the last second.
And that was pretty good for blue side. Got a free kill without any return from.
Ooh, we have another skirmish up top.
Flash from Wukong. That was a really good just guess at where the prediction of where Wukong
was gonna be.
Because that was able to give him that third stack for Mordekaiser's passive and just to deal more damage all around. And now Mordekaiser just keeps harassing him, pulling him until eventually he might tower dive him.
Hanging on by a thin thread up top.
The other part about it is that Wukong now kind of has free reign of the CS that, or Mordekaiser of the CS that Wukong has. So he's sitting about a 15, 16 more CS than Wukong.
Exactly. Mordekaiser, just by doing that, made up that early damage that he didn't have. Just made it up, got extra CS. Next time he backs, he gets a good couple items over Wukong. And so it'll help to keep him sustained and continue to have that lead up and top.
So both Omaha Skutt, pulled away from the start as Diego had a little bit on Knight from Pantheon, but misses the Q, doesn't secure the kill. Score still 1-1. Skutt does have about a 7k gold lead on Platteview at the moment. Excuse me. Rammus looking for that little damage down on the bottom, but doesn't quite get the ball off on Leon.
This will be a good chance for Kaisa get an even bigger edge up on Misfortune. And that was some good damage from Mordekaiser up top. And it seems like Rammus is looking for that early drag down bot. They've zoned bot lane out of their lane, and even now they're looking for the Sejuani, and she has to back up. She's at half health, and she simply can just not contest until the bot lane arrives. For Platteview. For Omaha Skutt, excuse me.
Keeping control of the lane now.
Mm-hmm.
That Pantheon gets where he just has his full combo.
Exactly.
Being able to just keep that damage up. And just that stun and his shield are very important. He has to hit 2 trades. So while his Q he can throw, it just doesn't that. Power shot is not enough, but you see that a Mordekaiser might come down, but he's retreating back top now.
Ooh, Mordekaiser might be coming down after all. Mordekaiser flashes, and Viego
dodges Mordekaiser ult with his own ult to get him out of range. That was very well
played by Viego.
Just avoiding that.
Exactly. And now Mordekaiser is up top without ults. So the enemy jungler might be looking to come up top and try to do something to help his Wukong out.
Now that Mordekaiser can't force those 1v1s, it will be just a lot easier to especially with the Wukong ult and the Sejuani ult that just came up. It will just be easy to just keep him in that place. And it would pretty much just be an easy gank all around. The Sejuani does appear just looking for the right now. We'll find it. Viego kind of looks like he might engage. Viego is looking at trying to get that Sejuani.
But it seems to be that
Rammus might be trying to head mid.
Oh, this is a counter, and there is the ult, but he flashed out of it. Wow. Wonderfully played by both mid and bot lane on Omaha Skutt's side. The kills are still sitting even, but as Caleb was saying, the gold's disparity is growing. Omaha Skutt is sitting about 1.2, almost 2k of gold, almost 2k gold over Platteview, and I think they're looking to keep that early lead and just keep growing it until they possibly can come back.
Caught by the minions, and unfortunately Rel is there too, and so he has to just go back down bot. It's sad that they didn't get the job done. Yeah, so that dragon early for Omaha Skutt is pretty important. Just that early
this really does seem to be a reoccurring theme. All these early dragons being infernals, which really does give them the edge over with the damage, and they're...
Well, objectives are just extremely important. Has had the most control over the map. Like, not even in kills, but in towers, dragons, maybe in rifts too. Barons do, but the dragons have been those have kind of been
Exactly. And there. And oh, and flashes. And she gets it. Which makes Kaisa 1-0-1 with 150 gold bounty on her head.
That's a pretty big difference just as
And again, Drake just spawned, and again, Omaha Skutt is looking for that Drake. As soon as it spawned, they're getting it. They know that the enemy team virtually cannot contest, and they're shredding it so fast, even if they want to think about it, they just can't. It's already gone.
dragon pit looking for the Sichuan. Which they would probably secure. And that's just kind of the answer to the dragon that Omaha Skutt just took. That would be their second dragon. Snow dragon and the cloud dragon. That's extra damage.
There's another skirmish of mid, and Platteview seems to have dropped the Rift Herald up mid, gaining them 3 plates, leaving its mid turret at 2 plates.
Just there, drop that, and so let's have and so 3 plates on top of that is very good, and plates just dropped, and so getting those enemy plates are pretty good. That was a lot of burst damage now that
It really was.
Diego did complete Kraken Slayer, and while Phantom does have Dust Blade, that's those fights where you don't. That Kraken Slayer did do a lot of burst damage. This
Mordekaiser completely full health. Wukong at about quarter health. He's trying to back. He's keeping him from backing. Finally, he now gets the back.
well, Mordecai, as I was saying earlier, is 56. That's
Ooh, and Leona is caught out again. But here's Sejuani is getting that kill on Rammus.
So let's see if they get first tier mid turn right here. There is that all fight?
Ooh, and that is a nice ult
Knock
from.
on Misfortune, but unfortunately Rel tries to flash out of there while they grab the kill on Sejuani. They're gonna try to stop this mid tower. Find the stun on Mordecai. Diego looking for that kill. Will he find it? And
Oh, and he goes and he dives.
Shield keeps him alive, but Kong tried to go in again. Pantheon trying to kill on him. Diego getting caught out now. Doesn't get the ult off and falls to Mordekaiser. Ramus looking at their backline. Leona gets knocked and then taunted, but I think she will get out of there.
Yes. Good play on Rammus, deciding to unengage and just go down bot. And looking for that Drake that's up in another minute.
And And so this will be the third Drake. And so if Omaha Skutt gets this, that could be very dangerous just on Soul Point for
Mhm.
Platteview. And so Platteview, this next Drake will probably be very important to get so that they can stay off of Soul Point.
Mhm.
Because after Soul Point, then every
We,
single
mm,
dragon after that is extremely
extremely
important.
important.
Like
Exactly.
the first two, don't get me wrong, yes, they're important, of course, but just that soul point, some if it's infernal or mountains, some people might take that just over a baron for soul. And
People
so
often really fail to realize how important soul is. Getting soul on your team gives you such an edge. And here we have another team fight down bot.
finding Diego again before they can get on the turret, find Leona with the Pantheon and going in. Get the Mordekaiser does end up getting the Sejuani, and that is 3 down on Platteview, and that's probably the third dragon for Omaha Skutt.
Yep. And so they effortlessly, without virtually any contest, are getting soul point. And that is the third Drake, Mountain Drake, for Omaha Skutt blue team.
And so with Soul and just on the Mountain Drake, the extra shield and just the armor that it gives is very important, especially against a mostly AD team
Mhm.
that Platteview has. They don't really have much AP damage. All they really have for AP, I believe, is Sejuani, but she's going full tank. And so they have just a lot of AD, Wukong, Diego, and Misfortune.
And
Ram
here,
is going in on the Wukong, gets him taunted, but he does end up getting out with the ult. And so Platteview now is looking for that 4-man mid. First tower has already been taken by
Omaha
Omaha
Skutt.
Skutt, and that alone is so much gold. And Omaha
Blue
Skutt
team's
is
turret
now
has been
about
destroyed.
5k gold lead above Platteview here in the 19th minute of the game. Mordekaiser does his CS, staying at about 50 above Wukong, and with 2 kills also, he's sitting on about $250 bounty. With 141 CS to Wukong's 82, he's sitting about 60 CS lead now.
Wow.
And Ramus against Sejuani keeping us about a 20 CS lead.
There's Rames's ult again into Leona and Viego. Leona gets taunted. Leona ults, and there is Misfortune's
Also
ult.
Misfortune. So Panther ends up finding Misfortune rush, and Diego can't quite kill the Ramus.
It just seems like they really just cannot come up, can't compete with the damage that they have. The lead that Omaha Skutt has built over this game is just so hard to overcome at this point.
Panther sitting at 6-3 and 5 to Vigo's 4-4-0.
Mhm.
And so what he doesn't make up, or what he doesn't have in CS, he has made up just in kills, kill participation, and that's how he's going to keep his lead above
Exactly.
Viego.
And it does look like Omaha Skutt is moving, looking to move top perhaps.
After they got that second 2
Mhm. And here Kaisa is resetting as well as Rel, and Mordekaiser is heading back up top to apply some more pressure on that tower.
And Kaisa also 0-9 to Plattview's Misfortune 0-1-1,
Mhm.
and on top of that is also 40
40
CS
CS.
above their ADC. And so that's also a ton of gold. You see that Kaisa already has her second item and boots, while Misfortune is still only
On
on
her
boots.
first item and boots. Mhm. And it does look like Platteview is maybe trying to pull off a cheese up in top jungle.
And so they're kind of waiting for Rel. Oh, they went too early, didn't catch the Rel out. Rel
Oh.
flash from the Sejuani will come there. Ram's going in on the back line. Diego will doesn't Diego will comes in, but get a catch on the Ramus. Mordekaiser is teleporting in. Leona is being too fast and too aggressive. Kill goes to Kaisa. Wukong looking to teleport mid and help his team, but Pantheon is also coming from the bot lane as well. They find Wukong with the kill.
And
Pantheon does not get the kill, but he does get the kill
on
on Viego.
Viego.
Looking for that ult into their back line. Finds confidence and engages on Message wanting to get the kill. That a flash Q doesn't quite kill Misfortune. She
That
leaves
is
at about half
almost
health.
a team wipe. Pantheon's looking to do some damage while his team travels down bot to get Soul.
And so now that they're on Soul Point, while Plattview's team will be up, they've lost a lot of momentum, and I don't know if they can even fight for that Bounty Soul. And that will get Omaha Skutt quite a bit even more ahead than they already are, seeing about 10,000 gold difference. So while the towers aren't, while there's not really that big of a difference in the towers, Omaha Skutt has 3, while Plattview's at 1 tower taken, there's still a lot of gold difference.
And what really seems to be the problem here is just Plattview's positioning.
Well, they can't step up because they just get punished so hard.
No,
by
exactly.
Omaha.
And that's what I mean. Like when Leona stepped up too far and she was caught out and there she is, already gone. Or that good chunk of damage I think they did on Viego when he stepped up too far. It's instead of staying together, playing it safe, and then trying to maybe see an opening and take it, it just seems like they're too eager to just go in and try to do something.
And so that was Soul for Omaha Skutt, still sitting at that 10,000 gold difference, 2 towers ahead. And Platteview hadn't gotten any dragons so far, so that is a 4 dragon difference, which is pretty big. So Mordekaiser's still sitting at 2-0 and 5, this time with a $450 bounty, and about 80 CS above Wukong.
And here you see Omaha Skutt is looking to go towards Baron, and Platteview is following.
That was just a lot. That was an auto attack bot.
There he is caught out.
That was a good lead by the Pantheon. Diego try to kill him, but they can't get enough damage on. Double kill for the Mordekaiser, getting the Leona and the dagger.
And there they have a free Baron. How unfortunate. And it does seem that after this Baron, they might be looking to end.
They might march, and that or they might reset and just all 5 push, because they know that they can win those team fights pretty easily at this point. And so Kaisa's looking for the Wukong. She might get the she might get the W off. Baron does eventually fall to Omaha Skutt, and it looks like at least 2 of them are resetting for that final push.
They do have minions on their side, so when they come back, it should be an easy push to end.
So we see that 4 of Plattview's people are in the top jungle, are in the red side top jungle, trying to look for anything to grab onto.
It just doesn't seem like there's anything to do. Drake isn't a mountain, not mountain. What's it called again, Caleb? Elder Drake isn't up for 3 minutes.
Really
Baron isn't up for 5. There are no more objectives. They can't push out because they can't team fight. They just simply can't win. Platteview is looking to be in top jungle, maybe looking to cheese or something. While
they're looking for a straggler to just walk through, try to get any pick. They're looking for Omaha Skutt just to make a mistake, but it looks like Omaha Skutt's just pushing 4 people bot with the Mordekaiser and the Ram is coming up, looking for the pick on Wukong and Sejuani.
And there it is.
Combo comes out, and then the 3-man claw, quick.
And that is it. Kai'Sa and Rel moving mid to get that wave going and get pressure on that tower as well. Mordekaiser, Rammus, and Mordecai and
Pantheon.
Pantheon are looking to get that bot tower down.
And so they're working on these nibs both on mid and in bot lane. And without that Sejuani and the Wukong, a lot of their crowd control goes away. While they still have the Leona and Misfortune ult combo, it's just extremely hard without the extra damage that Wukong
Exactly.
deals.
Because right now it really. Oh, and there,
Going in
Mordecai.
on Diego. Diego goes down fast, quickly followed by Sejuani, making a move on that Leona, knocked out, stunned, finds Leona.
And that is a double kill
Kong
for Kai'Sa.
and Misfortune are both fighting,
Our
and our
stream
stream looks to
used to
be
be
frozen.
frozen.
Let's see if we can figure that out here. It looks
Well,
like Omaha
that
Skutt ended up winning that game. Because the custom game ended,
did.
we got kicked out and we weren't able to see the
And
final
they'll.
push from Omaha Skutt. But it looks like they're about to take that very quickly, very soon.
Hmm.
And so Omaha will be moving up to the finals while Platteview will play in the match for
Or
third
third
place.
place.
And so
And
next
so
up we have
next up we have Gretna versus South Sioux City. Gretna has a score of 4-1, and South Sioux City has a score of 6-3 for this season. So this is looking like a pretty even matchup. I will be very interested to see how this goes. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes.